The meeting room was huge and filled with beings from 1,000 different worlds. Kelvin Price stood in the center, trying not to show how nervous he felt. He was the human ambassador, and today was important. Very important. The aliens were deciding if humans could join their group. The leader of the aliens was called Vexala. She looked like a giant crystal that could think and talk. Her people had never fought anyone. They just floated in their oceans and ate tiny things from the water. Fighting was something they only read about in books. Ambassador Price, Vexala said. Her voice came through a machine that turned her sounds into words humans could understand. We have looked at everything about your people. Your technology is good. Your cultures are interesting. Your wish for peace is noted. Kelvin waited. He knew something bad was coming. He could feel it. Next to Vexala sat another alien called Thren. He looked like a walking tree with roots for legs. His people were plants who got their food from dirt and sunlight. But we found something that worries us, Thren said. His leaves shook when he talked. A big screen appeared in front of everyone. It showed Earth spinning in space, beautiful and blue. Then the image zoomed in to show animals. Lions killing zebras, sharks eating fish, eagles grabbing rabbits, wolves hunting deer. Your planet works on what you call hunting and being hunted, Vexala explained. Some of our members came from animals that ran away from danger. The Clarians were like rabbits. The soft ones were like deer. Even the floating gardens started as creatures that knew fear. Kelvin nodded slowly. He understood now. But humans, Thren continued, and the screen showed close-ups of human faces, human teeth, human eyes. Your people came from hunters. Your eyes look forward to see how far away things are when you chase them. Your teeth are made for ripping meat. Your bodies can run for hours without stopping. You are top hunters who learn to think. Nobody said anything. Hundreds of aliens looked at Kelvin with new fear in their eyes. They finally understood what humans really were. Yes, we are, Kelvin said. His voice was calm. But we also farm. We paint pictures. We write poems. We build cities where millions of us live together in peace. We learned how to work together. Did you really? Asked a Quillarian alien. She looked like a tall rabbit with long ears that were flat against her head because she was scared. Or did you just change your hunting ways into fighting over money and land? Kelvin wanted to argue, but Vexala lifted one crystal hand. We are not saying no to you today, Ambassador Price, but we need to be sure. We need to understand what humans do when someone threatens them. We need to see if you can really live in peace with us. What do you want us to do? Kelvin asked carefully. Tess, Vexala said. There is a planet called Refuge 7. Farmers live there. Bad people keep attacking them and stealing their food. We will send human soldiers along with our soldiers. We will watch how you fight. Kelvin felt cold. They wanted to see humans in battle. They wanted to see the hunter come out. We agree, he said. There was no other choice. 3 weeks passed. Captain Lisa Grant stood on the control deck of a spaceship called Horizon's Edge. The planet Refuge 7 was getting bigger in the window. Behind her, human soldiers checked their weapons and armor. These were people who had been soldiers on Earth before humans went to space. You think they are testing us? Asked Lieutenant Danny Morrison. He was fixing the straps on his vest. I know they are, Lisa said. They will study everything we do. They want to know if we are monsters or friends. Up in a room above them, 3 aliens watched the humans get ready. Vexala was there with Thren and a Quillarian scientist named Mira. Mira studied hunter animals. But there were only 3 hunter species she knew about, and all of them were dead now. They look calm, Mira said. Her rabbit-like ears twitched nervously. Hunters are always calm before they hunt, Thren said. Vexala said nothing, but her crystal body glowed with light. That meant she was thinking hard. The ship went into orbit around Refuge 7. Reports started coming in. The pirates were not organized soldiers. They were thieves who attacked weak targets. But they had guns, and they were dangerous. They had already killed 7 farmers. The alien soldiers are waiting at the edge of the farm town, said Carl Peters, a young man working the radios. They are waiting for us to meet them. Lisa looked at the map on her screen. The pirates had a base in some hills to the north. They were hiding in caves. The alien soldiers, mostly crystal people like Vexala and tree people like Thren, had set up a wall around the town, but had not attacked the pirates. Why have they not gone after the pirates? Danny asked. Because they do not think like hunters, Lisa said quietly. She knew the aliens were listening to every word. They are protecting what they have. They are not thinking about stopping the threat completely. She pressed a button to talk to the alien soldiers on the ground. This is Captain Grant. We are landing now. Get ready to meet. As the ship went down, Vexala leaned closer to watch. Now we will see what humans really are, she said softly. The landing zone was a flat field near the farm town. Lisa watched her people get off the ship. They moved smoothly like they had done this 1,000 times. They held their weapons ready, but pointed down. Their eyes looked everywhere, always watching. Every movement showed training and something deeper. Something that made the alien watchers uncomfortable. A crystal alien named Zelthor walked up to Lisa. He was in charge of the alien peacekeepers. Captain Grant, we are happy you are here. The pirates have been very bad for the farmers, Lisa nodded. She saw that the alien soldiers were arranged in a perfect circle around the town. Good for defense, bad for actually fighting. Commander, can you tell me what is happening? They went to a tent where computer screens showed the local area. The pirate base was clearly marked in the hills, about 20 kilometers north. They attack when we do not expect it, Zelthor explained. They come fast, take supplies, and run away before we can stop them. We tried to talk to them, but they would not listen. Talk to them, Lisa repeated. She looked at Danny and saw he was thinking the same thing she was. It is how we do things, Zelthor said. He sounded like he was defending himself. We try to solve all problems without fighting. They killed 7 farmers, Danny pointed out. They would not talk to you. When do you accept that some beings want to fight? Zelthor's crystal body flickered. It is hard for us to fight. My people never had animals that hunted us. The idea of hunting another thinking being is difficult for us to imagine.
Ow.
Sometimes it is necessary, Lisa said. Commander, with respect, these pirates only understand one language. They see your peaceful ways as weakness. In the watching room above, Vexala leaned forward. She looks at the situation like a hunter looking at prey, she said. Or like a protector looking at a threat, Mira argued. There is a difference. Lisa pulled up the map on the computer. Her fingers moved fast across the controls. We need to spy on them first. I want to know how many there are, what weapons they have, and what they do every day. Danny, pick 2 people to watch that base tonight. Yes, ma'am, Danny said, and walked away to choose the team. You want to watch them like they watch you? Zelthor asked. Lisa smiled, but it was not a warm smile. An old Earth general named Sun Tzu said, We must know our enemy. We do not move until we understand what we are facing. That is very careful, Zelthor said. Hunters are patient, Commander. We do not just run and chase without thinking. We watch. We learn. We wait for the right time. That night, 2 soldiers named Kyle Martinez and Amy Jo moved through the hills like ghosts. The aliens had equipment to see in the dark, but watching these 2 humans move showed something the aliens had not expected. Humans were very good at being quiet and hidden. They move like prey animals, Thren said. He sounded confused. Using cover, making no noise, staying low, because they were both hunter and hunted, Mira explained. Her fear was being replaced by scientific interest. Humans are not the strongest animals. They learn to compete with creatures stronger and faster than them. They learn to hide and to hunt. Kyle and Amy reached a spot above the pirate base where they could see everything. Through the cameras in their helmets, the watchers could see the camp clearly. 30 to 40 different beings were there, criminals from different worlds. They had military weapons, probably stolen. Base camp to home, Kyle whispered into his radio. I count about 35 bad guys, different species. 3 guard posts. Guards change every 20 minutes. They are organized. This is not a random group, Lisa's voice came back steady. What weapons do they have? Energy rifles, regular guns, one big gun at the cave entrance. They have an armored truck, probably what they use for raids. No flying vehicles that we can see. How do they escape? Amy zoomed in on the cave system. Multiple exits. They have escape routes planned. Smart setup. Come back. We have seen enough. As the spies came back, Vexala turned to the other watchers. They gather information very well, because they think like their enemies, Thren said. They predict. They plan. The next morning, Lisa brought everyone together for a meeting. The computer screen showed detailed information from the spy mission. The pirates have a strong position, Lisa began. A direct attack would cost us lives and probably fail. The pirates would not know what hit them. That was Lisa's plan. She stood looking at the computer screens, showing the hills where the pirates hid. Her team was getting into position, and the alien observers were watching everything. Zelthor looked worried. His crystal body kept changing colors, which meant he was thinking hard. You would use the farmer's supplies as bait? He asked. What if something goes wrong? The containers will be empty, Amy Jo explained. She was standing near Lisa, checking her weapon. We will put tracking devices inside them. The real supplies will be safe. The pirates take the fake containers, lead us back to their base through their secret paths, and we shut down their whole operation. Mira's voice came through the speakers from the observation room above. It is not just about beating them. She wants to destroy their ability to threaten the colony forever. Hunters do not just defend territory, Lisa said, looking up at the observation room, even though she could not see through the glass. We remove threats permanently, but we do it smart. We keep our people safe, and we keep innocent people safe. That is what makes thinking hunters different from mindless beasts. Vexala's crystal body glowed with complex patterns. Fascinating, she whispered. They think in layers. Multiple backup plans. They plan for their plans to fail. Because they evolved fighting things that could kill them, Mira added. They learned to respect danger while still facing it. For the next 3 days, Lisa's team did exactly what she promised. Human soldiers took turns watching the pirate base from hidden positions. They gathered information with patience that surprised the aliens. They wrote down every detail. Which pirates seemed to be leaders? Who was careless? Who paid attention? When they ate? When they slept? When they were drunk or high on drugs? They are building a profile of their enemy, Myra observed, watching all the data pile up. They are not just seeing targets. They are understanding individuals and predicting what they will do. Kyle and Amy took the longest watch shifts. They lay on rocks for hours without moving, just watching and recording. Once, a pirate patrol passed within 10 meters of Kyle's position, but he stayed so still they never saw him. The alien observers could not believe a living being could be so patient and motionless. How does he do that? Thren asked. My people can remain still, but we are plants. He is an animal. Animals need to move. Persistence hunters, Mira explained. Humans evolved to follow prey for days. Sometimes walking, sometimes running, but always tracking. Patience is built into their bodies. On the 4th day, the supply ship arrived right on schedule. The pirates, predictable as the sunrise, launched their raid, just like they had done many times before. 6 vehicles roared down from the hills. 20 pirates armed with rifles and knives. They hit the supply depot fast and hard, grabbing what they thought were containers full of food and medicine. The alien peacekeepers started to panic, but Lisa's voice came through calm and steady on all radios. Hold positions. Let them take it. Do not engage. This is going exactly as planned. The pirates loaded the containers onto their trucks and sped away, laughing and shouting. They thought they had won again. They were heading back to their base through the secret canyon route they always used. The route they thought no one knew about, but Lisa's team knew about it. They had watched the pirates use it 3 times during their observation period. And now, human soldiers were already in position along that route, waiting like spiders in a web. Danny Morrison crouched behind a rock formation at the north end of the canyon. He had 5 soldiers with him, all watching their motion sensors. Here they come, he whispered into his radio. His heart was beating faster, but his hands were steady. His body was ready for action, but his mind stayed calm and focused. Alpha team in position, he reported to Lisa at the south end of the canyon. Amy Jo's team had set up a portable barrier that could be activated with the push of a button. Bravo, team ready, she confirmed. Above the canyon, on the high rocks. Sergeant Pete Brennan and 2 marksmen watched through their scopes. They had clear views of the entire kill zone below. Charlie team set, Pete said quietly. Lisa stood in the command tent, watching all 3 teams on her tactical screen. She could see the pirate vehicles entering the canyon, confident and unaware. She could see her teams waiting, disciplined and ready. She took one deep breath and gave the order. All teams, this is command. Execute Phase 2. Massive spotlights blazed to life on both sides of the canyon, turning the night into bright day. The pirates' vehicles screeched to a stop, their drivers blinded and confused. Before they could react, Danny's team fired one precise shot that hit the lead vehicle's power core. The truck died instantly, blocking the path forward. At the same time, Amy activated the barrier behind them, sealing the exit. Attention pirate forces, Lisa's voice boomed through speakers, translated into multiple languages. You are surrounded. Power down your weapons and exit your vehicles. You will not be harmed if you comply. In the observation room, Vexilla watched with intense focus. The display of overwhelming force. They removed all the pirates' options without firing a single shot at any person. Psychological warfare, Mira noted, writing frantically in her datapad, making the enemy feel helpless, encouraging surrender through intimidation instead of violence. But not all the pirates were ready to give up. The big armored truck in the middle of the convoy had a turret on top with a heavy gun. The gunner swiveled it toward Danny's position and started charging the weapon to fire. Hostile targeting, Danny reported. His voice did not change at all. He sounded like he was reporting the weather. Lisa's response was immediate. Charlie team, disable that weapon. Non-lethal if possible. Pete's marksman, a woman named Jenny Wade, was already aiming. She had been tracking that gun since it started moving. Her shot was like surgery with light. A plasma bolt severed the gun's power connection without even touching the cabin where the gunner sat. The weapon died, sparks falling harmlessly to the ground. Threat neutralized, Pete confirmed. They could have killed the gunner, Thren observed. His leaves were shaking with agitation. Why did they not do it? Because they do not want to, Myra said softly. They are hunters, yes, but controlled hunters, disciplined. The situation in the canyon was getting worse for the pirates. More of them were pointing weapons at the human positions, fear making them dangerous like cornered animals. Lisa could see it happening on her screen. They were about to do something stupid. All teams weapons free, Lisa ordered. Target weapons and vehicles only. Avoid killing anyone. What happened next lasted less than 30 seconds, but the alien observers would study it for years. The human teams opened fire with devastating accuracy. Every shot hit exactly what it was meant to hit. Vehicle engines were destroyed. Weapons were shot out of hands without hurting the hands themselves. Tires exploded. In less than half a minute, the pirates were completely helpless, without a single death. Cease fire, Lisa commanded. Teams advance. Danny's squad moved forward like a machine. Each member covered certain angles. They moved together like dancers who had practiced for years. They communicated with hand signals and short words. They grabbed the pirates efficiently, separated them into groups, checked each one for injuries, and gave water to those who were in shock. Medical teams move in, Lisa ordered. 3 human medics rushed forward with their equipment. They checked every pirate immediately. One had a broken arm from falling down. Another was having a panic attack. Both received immediate medical care from the humans who had just defeated them. Zelthor approached Lisa slowly. His crystal voice carried something like awe. You defeated them without killing anyone. That was the goal, Lisa said, watching her team's work. These are not soldiers fighting for a cause. They are desperate people making bad choices. We stopped the threat. Now, we give them a chance to choose better? A better choice? Zelthor asked. He did not understand. The council has programs to help criminals reform, right? To help them learn to live peacefully? Yes. But we did not think humans would care about such things. Your history shows so much killing. Our history shows we can do terrible violence, Lisa interrupted. It also shows we can show mercy, rehabilitation, and second chances. We are hunters, Commander, but we are not evil. We choose how we use our nature. Back at the pirate base, the remaining 20 pirates waited nervously. They did not know their raiding party had been captured. They expected their friends back 2 hours ago, and worry was turning into fear. Lisa stood before her computer screens planning the final phase. The base has 20 fighters left, Danny reported after checking the latest surveillance data. They are getting nervous. They expected the raiders back by now, good, Lisa said. Fear makes people sloppy. Amy, take your team around to the south cave exit. Pete, seal the north route. I want every escape blocked, but nobody moves until I say so. You are going to talk to them? Zelthor asked, surprised. I'm going to give them the same choice we gave the raiders. Surrender and face justice or force us to come in after them. And if they refuse? Lisa's expression became hard. Then we adapt. She activated the communication system they had set up near the pirate base. Her voice projected into the caves through speakers. Attention base personnel. Processing the prisoners took hours. Every pirate was documented, checked by doctors, and prepared for transport to council custody. Lisa personally watched over the whole operation. She made sure each prisoner understood their rights and what would happen to them next. The pirates sat in groups on the ground, their hands bound with soft restraints that would not hurt them. Most looked confused. A few looked relieved. They had expected violence and death, but instead they got medical care and respect. One pirate, a young male from a species Lisa did not recognize, kept staring at her. Why did you not kill us? He finally asked. His voice was quiet, almost childlike. Lisa walked over and crouched down to his level. Because killing you was not necessary. You were not fighting for some great cause. You were just trying to survive in a bad way. Now you get a chance to survive in a better way. But we hurt people. We killed those farmers. Yes, you did. And you will face punishment for that. But punishment does not have to mean death. It can mean learning to be better. Lisa stood up and looked at all the prisoners. Every one of you gets to choose now. You can resist the system, stay angry, and spend your life locked up. Or you can accept help, learn skills, and maybe one day contribute something good to the galaxy. That choice is yours. As she worked, Vexala came down from the observation room. The High Arbiter's crystalline form caught the lights from the camp, making rainbow patterns dance across the ground. Other council representatives followed her, all wanting to see the aftermath up close. Captain Grant, Vexala said, her translated voice carrying across the camp. I must admit this operation has been educational. Did we pass your test? Lisa asked without looking up from her datapad, where she was recording prisoner information. It was not precisely a test, more an assessment. We needed to understand what humanity becomes under pressure. Lisa finally looked up and met what passed for Vexala's gaze. And what did you learn? The crystalline being was quiet for a long moment. The other council representatives watched and listened carefully. We learned that you are indeed predators. Your actions confirmed that. But perhaps the council has misunderstood what that truly means. You showed patience, strategy, restraint, and mercy. You neutralized the threat completely while minimizing harm to those you opposed. That is what smart predators do, Lisa said. Unnecessary violence wastes energy, creates new enemies, and leaves you vulnerable. Real strength is knowing when to strike and when to hold back. Your species has refined warfare into something almost compassionate, Vexala observed. Lisa shook her head firmly. No, there is nothing compassionate about what we did. We trapped them, terrified them, and forced their surrender. We dominated them completely. But we did it in a way that gives them a chance to become something better. That is not compassion. That is an investment in a safer future. Thren stepped forward, his root-like legs moving carefully over the rough ground. But you could have simply killed them all. It would have been faster, simpler. Why go to such effort to preserve their lives? Danny Morrison, who was nearby supervising the prisoner loading, answered before Lisa could. Because killing is easy, counselor. Any idiot with a gun can kill. But ending a threat without creating martyrs, without traumatizing your own people, without becoming the monster you are fighting, that takes skill. That takes discipline. That is what separates professional soldiers from murderers. Amy Jo joined the conversation. She had removed her helmet, and her face showed exhaustion, but also satisfaction. My grandmother used to say that anyone can destroy, but it takes wisdom to preserve. We destroyed the pirates' ability to harm people. We did not destroy the pirates themselves. They might become good people someday. Dead people never get that chance. Mira, the Quillarian psychologist, approached cautiously. Her long ears were up and forward, showing interest rather than fear now. May I ask you something, Captain Grant? Of course. When you were in that canyon, when the pirates pointed their weapons at your people, what did you feel? Lisa considered the question carefully. The alien observers all leaned in, wanting to hear her answer. I felt my body preparing for action. Adrenaline, heightened awareness, faster heartbeat. Ancient responses from when my ancestors hunted on the plains of Africa. But I also felt my training taking control. My mind stayed calm. I assessed threats, calculated odds, and chose the minimum necessary force. I felt like a predator. Yes. But a predator with purpose and rules. And if they had fired first? If they had killed one of your people? Lisa's expression became hard as stone. Then the situation would have changed. We would have responded with overwhelming force. We would have ended the threat decisively and permanently. Mercy has limits, Dr. Myra. We offer it freely, but we do not allow it to cost innocent lives. So your restraint is conditional, Vexala said. It was not a question. All restraint is conditional, Lisa replied. The question is where you draw the line. We draw it at protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Cross that line, and you see a very different side of humanity. The conversation was interrupted by Carl Peters running up from the communication tent. Captain, we have a problem. Long-range sensors picked up 3 ships entering the system. They are not broadcasting council identification codes. Lisa's demeanor changed instantly. The philosophical discussion was over. She was back in command mode. Size and armament. Larger than our transport. They are armed. Sensors suggest they might be a pirate fleet. Maybe friends of the people we just captured. Vexala's crystal body pulsed with alarm. A pirate fleet? Here. We must evacuate immediately. Not yet, Lisa said. Already moving toward the command tent. We need information first. Danny, get our people to defensive positions. Amy, prep the prisoners for emergency evac if needed. Pete, I want your marksman on the high ground with anti-air capability. Wait, Zelthor said, his crystal voice shaking. Captain, we cannot fight 3 ships. We should retreat while we can. Lisa stopped and turned to face him. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were intense. Commander, we have 3,000 colonists down here who cannot evacuate quickly. We have 45 prisoners in our custody. We do not run until we know what we are facing. That is not cowardice. That is command responsibility. She reached the command tent and pulled up the sensor data. 3 ships, definitely military grade, approaching fast. Her mind raced through possibilities and plans. The Horizon's Edge was a transport, not a warship, but it had defensive capabilities. The ground teams had anti-air weapons. They could make a stand if necessary. Hail them, Lisa ordered. Let me talk to whoever is in charge. Carl worked his console, sending out a broad communication request. For 30 seconds, there was no response. Then a face appeared on the screen. It was a Grax, a species known for mercenary work and piracy. His scaled face showed amusement. This is Captain Vorn of the free ship Ravager. I believe you have some of my associates in custody. I suggest you release them immediately. Lisa stepped in front of the screen. This is Captain Lisa Grant of the Human Peacekeeping Force. Your associates attacked civilians and have been lawfully detained. If you have a legal claim, you can file it with the Galactic Council. Otherwise, I suggest you leave this system." Warren laughed a harsh sound. "Humans, I have heard of you. New to the galaxy, you think you can order me around? I have 3 warships. You have 1 transport. Release my people or I will take them by force, along with anything else I want from that colony." In the observation room, the council representatives were in a panic. This was exactly what they feared. A violent confrontation with no way to negotiate. They watched Lisa carefully, wondering what the Predator would do now. Lisa's voice became very calm. Dangerously calm. "Captain Vorn, I am going to give you 1 chance to reconsider. You are threatening a council-protected colony. You are threatening peacekeeping forces operating under council authority. If you attack, you will be declaring war on the Galactic Council itself." "The council is weak," Vorn said dismissively. "They talk and negotiate, while strong people take what they want. I am not afraid of them, and I am certainly not afraid of 1 human in a transport ship." "You should be," Lisa said quietly, "but I see you have already made your choice. So now I make mine. You have 2 minutes to leave this system. After that, we respond." Vorn laughed again and cut the communication. On the sensors, his 3 ships began moving into attack formation. Zelthor turned to Vexala, panic in his voice. "We must evacuate. We must run. We cannot fight 3 warships." But Vexala was watching Lisa. The human captain was not panicking. She was thinking, planning, calculating. Her fingers moved across multiple screens, pulling up data, sending orders. Coordinating her limited resources with the precision of a chess master. "All ground teams, this is Grant," Lisa said into her. "Come, we have incoming hostiles. 3 ships, expecting an easy fight. We are going to show them they are wrong. Danny, position your anti-air teams at coordinates I am sending now. Pete, I need your marksmen ready for precision strikes on any landing craft. Amy, get the colonists into the underground shelters. Move." She switched channels. "Horizon's Edge, this is Grant. I need you to project maximum defensive capability. Make those ships think you are more dangerous than you are. Buy me time." The first barrage from the pirate ships streaked through the atmosphere like falling stars. Plasma bolts hammered into the ground around the colony, sending up plumes of dirt and fire. The colonists screamed and ran for the underground shelters. The alien peacekeepers froze in terror, unsure what to do. But the humans moved like they had trained for this exact moment. Because they had. "Incoming fire, East Quadrant," Danny reported, his voice steady, despite the explosions. "Anti-air Team 1, target the lead ship's weapons ports. Fire when ready." 3 human soldiers aimed their portable missile launchers at the sky. They tracked the lead pirate ship as it made its attack run, calculating speed and trajectory with practiced ease. 3 missiles launched almost simultaneously, their trails drawing white lines across the sky. 2 missiles hit their target. The pirate ship's port-side weapon cluster exploded in a shower of sparks and debris. The ship veered off, trailing smoke, its attack run interrupted. "Solid hit," Danny confirmed. "Target 1 damaged but still flying," Lisa watched from the command tent, her mind processing information from a dozen sources at once. The Horizon's Edge was holding position above the colony, its shields absorbing hits from the other 2 pirate ships. It could not hold forever, but it did not have to. It just had to hold long enough. "Captain Vorn is hailing us again," Carl reported. "Put him on screen," Lisa said. Vorn's scaled face appeared, no longer amused. Now he looked angry. "You dare fire on my ships. You will pay for that, human. You fired first," Lisa said calmly. "You attacked a protected colony. You threatened civilians. Everything that happens now is your choice, Captain Vorn. You can still leave. Leave. After you damaged my ship? No, I will destroy your colony, take everything of value, and leave you as a warning to others who challenge me." "Then you will die here," Lisa said simply. Because I sent a distress signal to the Council fleet. They will be here in less than 2 hours. You can leave now and live, or stay and face Council warships designed for combat. Your choice. For the first time, doubt flickered across Vorn's face. You are bluffing. Am I? Do you want to risk your life and your ships to find out? Lisa leaned forward. I have already shown you we can hurt you. We damaged your ship with portable weapons from the ground. Imagine what Council warships will do. Leave now. Last chance. Vorn snarled and cut the communication. But his ships began to pull back slightly, moving to higher altitude. They were being more cautious now, more careful. Lisa had planted doubt in their minds. In the observation room, Vexilla watched in amazement. She is not just fighting them. She is fighting their confidence, making them question themselves. Psychological warfare again, Mira said, writing rapidly. Humans understand that battles are won in the mind before they are won with weapons. The pirates launched another attack, but this time they kept their distance. They fired from higher altitude, reducing their accuracy, but also reducing their risk. It was a defensive move disguised as an attack. Lisa saw the change immediately. They are getting scared. Good. Pete, how are your marksmen positioned? We have eyes on all 3 ships, Pete responded from his position on the high rocks. Waiting for them to get cocky again. They will, Lisa predicted. Vorn is angry. Angry people make mistakes. She was right. 10 minutes later, one of the pirate ships broke formation and dove toward the colony. The pilot was trying to prove he was not afraid, trying to make a statement. It was exactly the kind of mistake Lisa was waiting for. Pete, that one is yours. Target the engines. Jenny Wade, Pete's best marksman, tracked the diving ship through her scope. She waited for the perfect moment when the ship leveled out to begin its attack run. Then she fired. Her shot was a beam of concentrated plasma that lanced across 3 kilometers and punched straight into the ship's rear thruster assembly. The pirate ship began to spin, smoke pouring from its engine. The pilot struggled to maintain control as the ship lost altitude. It crashed into an empty field 2 kilometers from the colony, plowing a long furrow into the ground before coming to rest. Target 2 is down, Pete reported. The ship is intact. Crew probably survived. Danny, take a team to secure that crash site, Lisa ordered. Prisoners are to be treated according to council law. Medical care, if needed, understood, Danny said. Already moving with his squad toward the crash site, now there were only 2 pirate ships left, and Vorn was furious. His face appeared on the screen again without being asked. You will regret this, human. I will personally tear you apart. You are down to 2 ships, Captain Vorn, Lisa said. You have lost 1/3 of your force. Council reinforcements arrive in 90 minutes. The smart play is to cut your losses and run. But I do not think you are smart. I think you are angry. And angry people do stupid things. She was goading him, and everyone watching knew it. Vexilla felt something she had never experienced before. Fear, yes, but also a strange kind of excitement. This was what predators did. They did not just react. They manipulated. They controlled the battlefield by controlling emotions. All teams prepare for a big push, Lisa said after cutting communication with Vorn. He is going to throw everything he has at us now. He cannot afford to look weak by running away. Amy Jo's voice came through the cum. Captain, all colonists are secure in shelters. Prisoners are secure. We are ready for whatever comes. Good, remember, we do not need to destroy them. We just need to hold them off. Make them pay for every meter they advance. Make them question whether revenge is worth the cost. The 2 remaining pirate ships descended together, coordinating their attack. They hammered the horizon's edge with concentrated fire, trying to overwhelm its shields. The transport ship shuddered under the assault, sparks flying from damaged systems. Horizon's edge to ground command, the ship's captain called out. Shields at 40% and falling. We cannot take much more of this. Lisa looked at her tactical display. Council reinforcements were still 70 minutes away. Too long? She needed another option. Then she saw it. The crashed pirate ship in the field. An idea formed in her mind Dangerous but possible. Amy, can you get to that crashed ship? Yes, ma'am. What do you need? I need you to access its communication system. I want to broadcast on pirate frequencies. Can you do it? There was a pause. Amy was thinking it through. It will be risky. The ship might have security systems. But yes, I think we can do it. Do it. And be ready to send what I tell you. While Amy's team moved toward the crashed ship, Lisa prepared her message. She was gambling now, betting that Vorn's crew was not as loyal as he thought. That they were mercenaries who cared more about survival than pride. 10 minutes later, Amy confirmed she had accessed the crashed ship's systems. Ready to broadcast, Captain? Lisa took a breath and began. Her words were transmitted on pirate communication frequencies, reaching every crew member on Vorn's to remaining ships. Attention all pirate crew members. This is Captain Lisa Grant. Your captain is leading you to your deaths because his pride is hurt. Council warships arrive in 1 hour. If you are still here, you will die or spend your lives in maximum security prisons. But I am offering you a choice. Mutiny against Captain Vorn. Take control of your ships. Leave the system immediately. Do this in the next 5 minutes, and I will not pursue you. I will not report your names to council authorities. You will be free to go and live another day. Vorn's face appeared on screen immediately, purple with rage. You dare try to turn my crew against me. I am giving them a choice you refuse to give them, Lisa said. The choice to live. Let us see what they decide. For a long moment, nothing happened. The pirate ships continued their attack on the horizon's edge. Then suddenly, one of the ships stopped firing. Its weapons went dark. Internal communications on that ship erupted in shouting and sounds of fighting. Mutiny on Ship 2, Carl reported, his voice excited. They are fighting amongst themselves. The other ship hesitated, its attack faltering. Then it too stopped firing. On the screen, Vorn was shouting at someone off camera. Then his image cut off abruptly. 5 minutes later, both pirate ships began moving away from the planet. They were leaving. The battle was over. The humans on the ground erupted in cheers. Even the normally stoic Danny was smiling. But Lisa remained focused until the pirate ships jumped to hyperspace and disappeared from sensors. Stand down from combat alert, she finally ordered. Medical teams, check everyone for injuries. Danny, what is the status at the crash site? 8 pirates in custody, 3 with minor injuries, Danny reported, all receiving medical care. They seem almost relieved to be captured. Lisa allowed herself to sit down for the first time in hours. Her hands were shaking slightly from the adrenaline wearing off. Amy noticed and brought her water. That was insane, Amy said quietly. You gambled our lives on pirates choosing survival over loyalty. It was not much of a gamble, Lisa said, drinking the water gratefully. Mercenaries are practical. They do not die for pride. Vorn forgot that. It cost him everything. In the observation room, silence reigned. The council representatives had watched the entire battle. They had seen humans outnumbered and outgunned hold their ground. They had seen strategy and psychology defeat superior firepower. They had seen restraint and ruthlessness working together.